Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi and today in this video I'm going to be talking about Mars transit through the zodiac sign of Aries. And this is an important transit. And it's a long transit. So Mars enters Aries on the 16th of August. And then on the 10th of September, right in the early degrees, about 3 degrees of Aries, Mars retrogrades. And then on the 4th of October, it enters Pisces. It continues in retrograde motion till the 14th of November. On the 14th of November in Pisces, it will then go direct. On the 24th of December, Mars will then again enter Aries till the 22nd of Feb. So right now it's in Aries from the 16th of August to the 4th of October, though it starts retrograding on the 10th of September. So I'm going to be making a separate video for the retrogradation. In this video, we're talking about Mars in Aries. So from the 16th of August till the 4th of October, and then from the 24th of December to the 22nd of Feb. So this is almost like 4 months of Mars in Aries. Of course, there is a period of retrogression. There is a period when Mars will be going back into Pisces. But nevertheless, this is a long transit and it's an important transit. It's an important transit because Mars has finished its journey around the zodiac. Mars takes roughly 2 years to finish one, cycle around the zodiac. And this is the time for new beginnings because Mars is in its own sign now. Once again, the first sign, Lord, is in the house where it belongs, the house that it owns. And Aries is the sign of the newborn. I've talked about this in my video about Aries ascendant, Aries rising. If you haven't watched that video, I do suggest you go watch it because everything that I'm saying in that video resonates with Mars and Aries. So this is a time for new beginnings. This is a time for starting something new, fresh energy. You may feel the tendency of getting bored with routine. You may tend to feel bored with being complacent. You may want to do something challenging. You may want to take up some kind of a challenge, may want to initiate something new, may have new ideals, new aims, new ambitions, and you're going to be charging ahead. Aries is not, the best in patience, and especially when Mars is positive in Aries. So here you may lack patience. The aggression factor will be a little higher. Confidence level will be higher. A little bit of recklessness, a little bit of impulse is also going to be going along with this placement of Mars in Aries. So there will be some recklessness, some impatience level that you will feel. All of us will feel. Irrespective of where the Aries sign is in your zodiac, you will still feel being a little impulsive, being reckless, wanting to break off from monotony, wanting change, doing without thinking, basically, not thinking too much. Quick decision making, strong ambition, being on fire, being energetic, feeling energetic, and ready to take on any kind of a challenge or risk. These are some of the key factors, the key words that we can connect with this transit. So Mars is the warrior planet or the Senapati, and the warrior is back into action. So Mars has been in Pisces now, and Pisces is a watery sign, Mars is a fiery sign. So imagine putting up, putting the fire in water, the fire tends to get extinguished. So now the fire is back in fire, and it's a lot of fire. And I've already made a monthly video about August where I've talked about the placement of all the planets. Venus is going to be conjunct Rahu, and Mercury is half the time going to be in Cancer, and then it moves on to Leo. So the combined effect of Mercury in Cancer, I've already discussed. It's thinking with your emotions. Venus with Rahu in Gemini, wanting to try out new things, being curious, and overspending, new relationships, breaking taboos. And then we have Mars in Aries, of course, the warrior, wanting to take risks, wanting to do something new, getting bored, new ideals, new aims, ambitions, not thinking too much. So that is what Mars is about this month. So guys, be careful. Whatever you do, do slow down a little bit and do think a little bit, because with Venus conjunct Rahu, we are going to get a little extravagant where relationships are concerned, wanting to step outside certain boundaries, and not just with relationships, with spending, with enjoyment, with fun. We would want to experiment with new things that we've maybe not tried earlier, that could be alien to our culture. And Mars here is going to give us that confidence, and that aim and that challenge and that ability to take risk, to be able to do whatever one wants to do. So you're going to have that confidence in you. You're going to have that backing of this energy. Mars is energy, and energy is fire. Ambition is also fire, and fire is back in its sign of fire, in its Mool Trikon. So lots of fire we have here. Jupiter is also in a fiery sign right now. Sun is going to be in Leo from the 15th of this month. So lots of fire this month. So be very cautious how you use this fire. It's a great time, really, having so much fire. Fire gives us ambition, it gives us confidence, it gives us a push. So good placement for Mars. I'm going to be making a second video where I'm going to be talking about natal Mars to this transit Mars. So do watch out that video as well, where I am going to be talking about where is your Mars in the natal sign and which sign is it. And then you see Mars in transit in Aries, and the level or the effect of this transit on you, you will also be able to understand that better if you watch that video as well. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Mars in the various zodiacs from your ascendant or your rising sign. Also see this from the moon sign, from both the signs, ascendant and moon. Both are important, very important. In Vedic astrology, we see transits from both. But do watch the other video where I'm talking about Mars in Aries from your natal Mars. Okay, so let's talk about Aries. Now you have Mars in the first house, the first lord in the first house. Confidence level is going to be very high. Risk-taking ability is going to be very high. You want to try something new. You want to change your image. You're bored with your image. You're bored with the way you look. You're bored with what you're doing, where you're putting your energy. So it's a whole new world opening up for you. New options, new opportunities, new experiments, new challenges, a lot of confidence. You would want to initiate something, and you'd be able to initiate things very well at this point of time. But Mars is a very reckless planet. So just a word of caution, do use your intellect, especially while Mercury is in Cancer, because then we may tend to be a little too casual with our logic, with our intellect, and we may make the wrong decision sometime. So that is a word of caution for Aries people. Mars here is very, very protective about its relationships, about its home comfort, and about your own psychological well-being, about your mental health as well. So where these things are concerned, you will stand up and get into a fight very quickly. So if you feel your home is being disturbed, if your relationships are being disturbed by someone, if your psychology is being impacted negatively by somebody or something, you will stand up and assert yourself for sure. But we got to be a little cautious. Let's not get over aggressive. In Taurus, for Mars in Taurus, Mars in Aries for the zodiac sign of Taurus. So Mars is in your 12th house. 12th house is your house of sleep, your subconscious, long distance travel, healing. Mars here aspects the 3rd house, the 6th house, and the 7th house. So you are going to be very cautious where your enemies are concerned, where your hidden enemies and your known enemies. So if you feel there is a conflict, if you feel somebody is an enemy to you, at the smallest, kind of a happening, you're going to stand up and start fighting. So there's going to be a lot of aggression in you, and you feel anybody who's bringing in some conflict in your life, some opposition in your life, some unrest in your life, you're going to stand up and fight for yourself. And this may disturb your psychological self, to your hidden emotions, your unconscious self, and there may be some disturbance in your sleep pattern for these days, for especially when Mars is in Aries. because it's in your 12th house. When Mars retrogrades back into Pisces, it's going to be a different picture for you. So watch out for the other video, that I will be doing then. Now for Gemini, Mars is in the 11th house. Mars is great in the 11th house in Aries in its own sign. Mars is going to be aspecting the 5th house, the 6th house, the 2nd house. Mars is going to feel very protective about wealth, children, relationship, conflict, litigation, and disease, daily routine, network circles, and where your dreams and ambitions are concerned. You're going to stand up, take charge of the situation. You're not going to wait for other people to come and join you and help you and support you, though people will be supportive. And but you're going to initiate something related to finances, initiate something related to your ambition, initiate something related to the growth of your family. This is a great placement for Mars in the 11th house, but it's impacting your house of speech. So there could be some harshness, there could be some rashness where your speech is concerned. Now I'm going to be talking about Cancer. Cancer, you have Mars in the 10th house. Finally, thankfully for you, you're going to be coming out of your comfort zone, Cancer, Mars in Pisces, all this while you've been procrastinating a lot of things. So now suddenly you will feel a little more energetic, and you will feel that you got to start making some effort in the right direction. And for a while, it may also feel that things are kind of working for you. You're getting less obstacles. You're able to put in your energy in the right place at the right time. And Mars is in directional strength in the 10th house. So good time for Cancer people. You're going to feel very protective where your home is concerned, where you yourself are concerned, where your image is concerned, where your children are concerned, creativity is concerned. And you're going to make a lot of effort to use your creativity, to use your knowledge, improve your image, take charge of the things at home, and stand up for your comfort and happiness. So good place for Mars really, but this is in a Kendra house, so there can be some disturbance at home that you may feel, especially if you're running a Mars Dasha. Now we're going to talk about Leo. So Leo, you have Mars in the 9th house. Mars in the 9th house, aspecting the 12th house, aspecting the 3rd house, aspecting the 4th house. In the 9th house, a good opportunity to widen your horizons, learn something new, and learn something new related to philosophy, religion. Just open up your mind to new things in life. It could be a time for new opportunities for you. It could be a time for new initiatives. You may want to take new initiatives, and you would feel very protective about your home, your family, your mother and father. This could be a special time where you'd be extra concerned about your mother and father, and for their security and happiness, you may take a stand, take some kind of an action, and also about your own psychology, your own dreams, your siblings. So your siblings, travel, initiatives, learning abilities. If you are a teacher, you could be taking up some certain skills, certain courses that help you upgrade your qualification. So it's a good time actually to upgrade yourself, to learn something new, to use your communication, to connect with your siblings, to connect with your guru, to connect with your teacher, and to mentally open up a little bit. So now we're going to be talking about Virgo. Virgo, you have Mars in the 8th house. And Mars here is aspecting your 2nd house, your 3rd house, and your 11th house. You are going to feel very protective about your ambitions, your wealth, especially your wealth. If there is any kind of a situation where you feel threatened, where your wealth, your ambition, your family is concerned, suddenly a lot of energy is going to be bursting out from you, and you're going to stand up and take some action, and stand up for your rights, stand up for what you believe in, stand up for the family, stand up for your ambitions. This could be related to your spouse also, because this is the 8th house, this is the growth of the married life. Aspecting from here the 11th house, long-term ambitions. But it could also be some initiatives, wealth. 2nd house is being aspected by Mars here. Mars is going to want to increase that. So for wealth, and it's aspecting the 3rd house, you could be taking certain initiatives. But you got to be careful because this is in the 8th house. Depending on your dasha, you may have to go through certain surgeries, or there could be certain accidents. So the remedy here is you can donate blood, and that ways you have already fulfilled the indication of this transit here. Mars in the 8th house could be a little disturbing where your happiness is concerned, where your connection with your spouse is concerned. You could have a fight with your spouse. There could be some disturbance, some separation there with the in-laws or the spouse. But generally, you'd feel very protective where your wealth is concerned, where family is concerned. And there could be certain initiatives that you would want to take here. So do take care of your health. Indications about your health could be negative depending on the dasha, because Mars is not the best planet for Virgo, especially if you're running a Mars dasha. In that case, you've got to be extra cautious. Now I'm going to be talking about Libra. Libra. Mars is in the 7th house, aspecting the 1st house, aspecting the 10th house, aspecting the 2nd house. So again, this is another position which is called Manglik Dosh. But of course, it's in transit. Mars you will feel is in opposition. Mars is in the opposite house. You could feel some opposition from the spouse. You could feel an opposition from people in general, but you are going to feel very protective about your career, about your wealth, and you're going to make a lot of effort. Maybe bring in some changes, maybe take some initiatives related to business, career, because the 7th house is also your business initiatives, especially about being self-employed, where self-employment is concerned. So you could be taking certain initiatives there. But this can also show some harshness in speech, some aggression, some really strong discord with the spouse, with other people, while traveling, while on the road. So Libra people have to drive very carefully. Now with Mars and Aries, you got to be very careful about driving, because Mars is directly aspecting the 1st house. It's going to give you that that wish for speed, and you may be driving too fast. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot on your mind, especially where your career and your wealth is concerned and your family is concerned, and there could be certain initiatives that you take right now. Then I'm going to be talking about Scorpio. Scorpio, Mars is in the 6th house. Mars is your ascendant lord. It's in the 6th house, aspecting the 9th house, the 12th house, the 1st house. Good position, one of the best position. Having Mars in the 6th house in Aries, a lot of initiative that you will be taking in your daily routine. Those that are undergoing any litigation, or you have any conflict, or in your daily routine, enemies, hidden enemies, especially hidden enemies, you're going to take some drastic action there. And you're going to feel very protective about your father, about a guru or a teacher, or somebody you respect like a father figure, and about your own image as well, your own health as well, because this is the ascendant lord, and the ascendant lord is now in the 6th house. So do take care of your health. Start some kind of an exercise routines, spend some time meditating a little bit. Be very careful about your food, whatever you intake. Your diet needs to be good. Some kind of an exercise routine has to be there, and you are going to be concerned about your health, as well as you're going to be concerned about your image, and you're going to be concerned about your about your daily routine, and people you think are your enemies, or they could be hidden and you somehow do find out and you take charge of the situation. And about your father too, you're going to feel very protective during this time. So now I'm going to be talking about Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Mars is in your 5th house, and it's aspecting the 8th house, aspecting the 11th house and the 12th house. So Sagittarius, Mars in the 5th house is not one of the best positions, but the good part is it is in its own house. So here, lot of creativity. Many of you are going to be very interested in speculation, in gambling, and you got to be careful. There could be gains, there could be losses, and you're going to be very concerned about your losses. You're going to be very concerned about the net results of your investments. And because Mars is also aspecting the 12th house here, and depending on the dashas you have, so be careful. But there could be gains. Your desire would be gains, and you'd be concerned about your losses. So there is an element of being in a hurry, getting things done quickly, gambling, getting into relationships very quickly. But again, depending on the dasha, you got to step very, very cautiously, especially the first few days when Venus is conjunct Rahu. I've already, in my August video where I've talked about the horoscope for the month of August, I've given you the dates when Venus and Rahu are separating. I think it's after the 10th of August when they're moving apart. Then the time is a little better. So Mars is going to be in Aries on the 16th. So even though the degrees are a little apart, the impact will still be felt. So getting quickly into relationships, getting very, very involved in your creative interests, in your hobbies, speculation, gambling, concerned about losses, investments and their returns. These are going to be the themes this month. Not this month, for the next 6 months. Now I'm going to be talking about Capricorn. Capricorn in the fourth house. Again, this is Mars in one of the Kendra houses. So strong position, little disturbing in the fourth house. Mars is not that great in energy, very restless energy here. Keep yourself very busy, Capricorn. Mars is going to be aspecting the 7th house, the 10th house, the 11th house. You're going to be very concerned about your relationships, your long-term ambitions, and your desire is going to be to improve your career. But the energy at home is going to be disturbing. So even though relationships is the key focus that you will feel protective about, but in relationships there could also be a disturbance because of this Mars position here. So putting your energy into work is the best that you could do. Stay as much away from home, stay as busy as you can, and the energy can be utilized in a very good way if you do that. Anything related to real estate will also be of a big interest to you. Depending on your dasha, though many of you may consider buying a vehicle for yourself, spending at home, that could be another interest for many of you, because Mars here is also the 11th lord. So the 11th lord of ambitions is in the house of property. So now I'm going to be talking about Aquarius. Aquarius, Mars is in the 3rd house. Good position to have. Mars is a karak of the 3rd house, a significator, and the significator is in the 3rd house, aspecting the 6th house, aspecting the 9th house and the 10th house. So a lot of initiatives you may be taking, Aquarius, and very protective. You're going to start feeling about your competition, about your health, about your daily routine, about your career. These are going to be major areas of concern for you. Career and daily routine and health, and you are going to take some drastic action where your competitors are concerned. And if there is any competition you appear for, chances are very bright that you do very well. And because you also, the desire, the aspect of Mars is on the 9th house. So new opportunities also could be there for you, new learning, new teaching, new skills, siblings. You could also be very concerned about your father's health right now. Now I'm going to be talking about Pisces. For Pisces, Mars is in the 2nd house, and Mars is aspecting the 5th house and the 8th house and the 9th house. So again, in the 2nd house, some impulsiveness in speech, saying something rude very quickly and then maybe regretting it, being very concerned about your children, about your love relationships, and your father, your guru, any learnings. You could be very concerned about your education. You could be very concerned about your wealth. You may be wanting to invest somewhere, where you expect good returns, but I would tell you to be cautious, especially while Mercury is in Cancer. So again, depending on your dasha, Mars is aspecting the 8th house, posited in the 2nd house. Investments can be seen from here, loans can be seen from here. You may be desiring to take credit or a loan from somewhere, and your happiness, your children, your love relationships, these are the key focus areas for you. So that is all for now. Do watch the other video where I'm going to be talking about, from your natal position, what is this transit like. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.